going.
Hello, hi, please.
Hi to you.
Salutations.
Salut.
What's up, what's up?
Hello to you.
How many different ways can you say hello to you? Uh,
You were counting.
Hi, guys. Welcome to our channel. The last podcast that we recorded,
Ended abruptly due to technical difficulties.
due to Onyango
Technical
forgetting
diffy
the
Carl
bat
tease.
Reese
Technical difficulties.
for the mic, for the recorder, which I had given him mine for to fit. Anyway, listen, the past is the past. Yalio Peter.
See Yajayo.
See memory, Onyango.
Remember that MP who didn't even know the saying and saying with confidence.
You see, what it was
Yalio
a,
ndwele sipite.
something, yeah. That was it. Wasn't it a babe?
It was yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if she's an MP. Maybe she was a governor.
Something. Someone on TV who's saying nonsense. Is who it
Yalio
was.
Peter's ndwele.
Is it Peter? What?
Whatever she said, it was wrong.
Peter ndwele. It was funny.
It was
Even
hilarious.
I, who have only known Swahili for less than... Oh, actually, I can't even say that anymore. I've known Swahili for over half my life.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. There was a time I could say I've only spoken Swahili for 5 years. That is no longer true.
So, last podcast.
We were supposed to start speaking about moving out, but then we got really distracted and derailed, and then the batteries issued before we actually got to the topic
Of the day. Imagine,
Bum, bum,
25 minutes and we didn't get to the
bum.
topic. So,
This is how one fails exams.
today is moving out.
Sorry, I've just remembered. Speaking
And
of
this
exams,
is how we get to 25 minutes before. Yeah?
do you remember how, like, if you had an insha and you were told to memorize an insha, because even
Memorize
if you
an
get
insha.
because even if you got the topic wrong, you'll still get points for the flow of the insha and if it's good and blah blah blah. So you'll get negative. So you'll get like 35 out of 40 because the insha was correct. So it doesn't matter what insha they give you. They're like chambilecho, like Maliza insha na chambilecho wahenga.
Gafla binvu.
Hawakutu. What did they say?
Gafla
Hawa-
binvu. Majambazi wenye
Paka,
miraba minne. Na misuli tingirinya.
Mafuta kwa something
Kamilisha
ya chupa
sentensi.
waliposema.
Gafla binvu.
Oh
You
my,
didn't
yeah,
see
so
that meme?
anything. I did. I saw that meme. It was hilarious. So anything that you write, any topic that you're given, andika juu ya mazingira, you'll start with Gafla binvu. It doesn't
Nice.
matter because you memorize.
I never
it.
did that because I was full of stories. So I always tried to write stories.
So the reason
I was never trying to pass my inchas. I was trying to write a good story.
I loved inchas. I loved inchas and compositions.
Compositions are my favorite. I used
I
to get,
love
like, if I
them.
would get 19, I would be sad.
Oh, you guys was out of 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's either out of 20 or out of 40. Either way, I was always number 1 or number 2. English
you're really
composition
gonna
was my
be
shit.
Those dads, huh? I was always number 1 or number 2. What
In
the
English
fuck?
composition.
Yeah.
That was my shit.
That'll be you.
Everything else was not my shit, but English composition.
English composition was very much my
Like
shit. Me, they were
comprehension.
telling me to memorize inches because I didn't know so.
Ah, okay.
So even sometimes they would
I
ask
didn't know
me
so
the
about
topic.
even that would never
They
work for
tell
me.
you-
I would have just
I
forgotten
used to write
whatever.
English
the fuck.
words and so. Like I used to, it was just easier. Because I sikuwa na vocabulary.
Televisheni. By Scully.
Auntie yangu.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, but like, no, I really liked that shit. Yeah, that's the end of my story.
So, moving out.
So in the last pod, I feel like I was leading up to there's nothing that will make you move out faster than having to wash dishes every day. Personally,
Unnecessarily.
there's some things that like pushed me. Like I don't think I'm a rebel. But apparently I don't know who I am at all as a person. I don't think I'm a rebel. I think I'm actually very like, you know, like I feel like I'm an accommodating person.
And that affects rebellion how?
No, and so like it's not even rebellion. Like if my folks are making me do something, I'm more likely to do it than to rebel and leave.
I mean, rebellion is not limited to your folks, is the point.
Anyway, so for me, there were a couple of straws that broke the camel's back. When you moved out, did you move out because you wanted to move out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like you were ready.
Like I was done of, there's a certain threshold past which living with another grown-up becomes untenable, especially when you're used to each other and there's a certain level of familiarity that also comes with some contempt and disrespect. I wasn't willing to accept anymore, so I was like, I'm gonna move out. It's gonna cost more money. It's gonna be like, I understood the implications of moving out, but it was preferable to the ongoing conflict that was unnecessary in my mind. So I resolved and I worked towards the moving out. It was tough, but it was worth it.
I didn't even have, let me tell you, as soon as I got a paycheck big enough to pay a month deposit and rent, I was out. I remember my first rent was like 14K. So deposit 28K. Then that left me with another 10 Gs. I bought a sufuria. And then my brother gave me a bed and a mattress. And that was it. Then I moved. I think I bought like 2 plates. I didn't buy a Jiko because I wasn't planning to cook. Because I only cook 3 things.
Nah.
I didn't buy a Jiko because I wasn't planning to cook. I didn't buy a fridge because if I'm not cooking, why do I need a fridge? I have a phone call.
You didn't finish the statement first. You didn't buy anything. You went with what you could.
Yeah, not with what I could, with what I had. It wasn't even what I could. I was leaving. I was out. Get out right now. It's the end of you and me. To like my dad. I will pause.
But there was like a... Anyway.
Yes, I left with the clothes on my back, the shoes on my feet, the sheets my mother bought me. She was so mad at me, my mom, when I moved out.
Really?
She didn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
Why?
I don't know. But we're besties now.
It worked out.
It worked out. She was upset. She wanted me to do it on her timeline, and I wasn't willing to do it on her timeline.
Yeah, that's the thing that parents will always do, I think.
I wanted to be out, my nigga. Let me tell you. So, my parents' house, when dishes are washed, they have to be dried. Let me tell you, oh my God.
I've never understood that thing. It was
I
always
hate
a point
that
of conflict.
thing. Oh my God. Every
Point of
day.
conflict. Like, hey, listen, it's called a drying rack for a reason.
What are we doing?
Whoever designed it specifically for that purpose. Let the things dry. Then now the towel has to dry, and then now you're just wiping dishes with a wet towel. Why?
I think drying dishes is one of the things, at least 50% of the reason.
You moved that.
Yeah. Another 50% was somewhere to have sex.
I think that was like 75% for me.
Really?
And then everything else. Hey, I was
75.
I was very...
We're trying to fuck.
Everybody. Just the freedom to do what the fuck you want when you fucking want was a thing was a thing that was important.
Hey, I remember really fucking in my parents' house. Were you?
I couldn't really fuck in my parents' house. I don't think I really had good sex
you
in
did.
my parents' house. Really fucking? Nah.
You were fucking in your parents' house.
But not really.
Your mom found you.
But not really.
What does that mean?
You're saying really fucking?
I mean, you know.
The volume, the quality, the intensity, it was baby stuff. You can't have, like, I don't think you can have proper sex.
Unbridled, unabashed, unfiltered.
Just covered in juices the whole weekend.
Irreverent.
Saturday morning you start with some Prosecco. Sometimes it'd be like that.
Yeah, sex was another 50%, yeah. Then another 50%, we're at 150. Was living with adults is hard. Like, adults
absolutely.
living with other adults. It's just
especially
hard.
If you grew up and you were a child and then you became an adult, the relationship needs to be redefined. And staying together while you're trying to do that redefinition is...
it's so tricky.
Tenuous at best.
Yo, like when they have rules and you're not willing to do the rules, and then like they don't feel like they have to explain to you because you're their kid, but you feel like you need an explanation because it doesn't fucking make sense.
Yep.
Woo! I don't know. And I don't think I moved out. I feel like I moved out at a normal time. I moved out after uni. So I finished uni and graduated in August. 3 months later, with my first job and first big salary, I was like, all right.
August 2010.
Deuces. 2011.
Okay.
Yep. And I was like,
so then, did I move out just before you? I think I did.
Oh, you didn't move out after grad?
Nah.
I thought you graduated in 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
And I think it was the next year in like April, May.
Yeah. So you moved out. Yeah, you moved out before me.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But
like a few months.
But we weren't hanging.
Yeah.
I don't know what house you lived in when you were first moved out. Like I saw it
Tome,
when Tony lived there. Yeah.
Hey, I
moved
was balling. I was paying 27 G's.
What?
Just for like a couple of years.
First house.
First house.
Wow.
I was balling out of control. That's why I didn't understand what the whole hullabaloo was. Like, you sleep too much. Like, I can pay my rent, guys. Relax on my sleeping. It's my decision.
What is that about? Why don't parents ever want to let you sleep?
No idea.
You know I'm going to be lazy regardless of whether I wake up at 5 or 11.
In fact, mine is very specific. If I wake up early, I will be lazier throughout the whole day, consistently.
I can imagine how hard high school was.
All
hard.
of it.
Hey, high school.
All of it.
You know, they used to wake us up at 4:30 to jog. That's why I can't wake up early. I can't wake up early to
jog to go where? When you're trying to be Haile Gabriel Selassie?
I don't know. And they were still putting paraffin
Tirunesh Dibaba.
Tirunesh Dibaba. And they were...
Catherine Dereba, is that you?
All of the above.
You're joking.
And they were still putting paraffin in our food. So it's not that like they cared about our health and exercise.
No, it was never health and exercise. It's just control.
Control. Do you feel like
it was a weird time?
Do you feel like parents try and control us in that way as well? Like with moving
Absolutely. They try and control a lot. But I feel like it's within their nature. And that's what I mean by redefinition of the relationship. They've controlled your decisions from when you were a baby. There comes a point where you have to take control of your own decisions. And if you don't make that distinction, then the ambiguous nature of that relationship carries on. It's like after a point, you need to be able to say, hey, you know what? This is my decision to make. I appreciate your input, but I've made my choice based on what I think is best for me. It might be right, it might be wrong, but it's my decision.
If I didn't have to, though, to be quite honest, I would rather not have to make that decision or blah, blah, blah. Like, if I could just be a last born in my parents' house, they leave me in my room, all factors remaining constant, and I can do what I want, I wouldn't move.
Yeah.
What? The
but
world out here is rough and cold. Okay.
Rent is rough. I remember the first month I moved out paying rent, I was feeling so cheated. And that feeling never went away.
You're feeling cheated?
Cheated.
But see, you're paying for
I understood the trade-off, but I still felt cheated. It doesn't stop feeling weird to me. It's like my existence is predicated on my ability to pay this person for this space. It was it's still and has been a strange trade-off.
I used to feel weird when my space was smaller. So, like, there was a time I lived in a studio in South B and it was 17 Gs. And I was really like,
cheated!
It was smaller than my 14K bed sitter. I mean, but at least it had, like, a defined, like, sink.
A defined sink.
And, like,
I purposely moved
water.
into, like, a 2-bedroom place the first time because I was like, I need my space.
Yeah.
2-bedroom, bought the biggest mattress I could buy.
Don't you need like a 7-foot mattress?
Yeah, there's a few companies that make extra long mattresses, which is perfect for me. So that's the next bed I'm getting. 6.5 feet long and 5 feet wide, because it's 6 feet is too wide for Kenyan apartments and houses. Like they don't design them for 6 feet wide beds, and I'm like, why?
That's true. That's true. I don't mind paying rent. I
didn't mind because I've been doing it.
I mind the other things that come with the rent.
I don't like overpaying rent.
Yeah.
Like somewhere that's more expensive than it should be is not ideal.
I don't know what is more expensive than should be.
It's what you feel. If you go, like the place you were paying 17K and it was too much.
It was a cute little place though.
But you felt it was not worth the 17K. Like it should have been a bit cheaper.
It should have been a bit cheaper.
Is what I'm saying.
But the finishing was great.
Yeah.
But it should have been a bit cheaper.
Yep.
The place I moved after that was a 2-bedroom for 35K. And for the parking situation alone, it should have been 20. Fuck me.
Where? Madaraka?
No, South B.
South B still?
Oh my gosh. Oh, the place next to you guys.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That was the second place.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the second place in South B. Yeah. Not the second place I ever lived in.
Yeah.
There were a couple before. Yeah. Thogi helps me move with a cab. Anyway.
Tomato Kambale.
It's that parking place for you drive in and that's the end of the night for you. Like if someone needs to go to hospital, it
It's a
doesn't
wrap.
matter.
The first
Nothing-
person packed will take
oh.
you to hospital if they are there and willing.
I remember being late for,
But also it was South B. Like there was 17 hospitals within a 1 mile radius.
but not even hospital. I remember being late for work for an important like meeting, like interview, because the babe had to shower before she came out to move her car, and she came out casually, like moseying on along, like cash. Oh my gosh.
Like not giving a single
Like not giving a single
fuck.
fuck. She even came out, saw she forgot her part of her outfit, went back in.
Or like she went and got ready to leave
It took
before
like,
she moved her car for you.
She literally took like 25 minutes. And the caretaker was a right asshole. So there's things I don't like about moving that are nonsense. You know what I mean? So like rent, but a useless caretaker, a shit parking
Hey,
situation.
we had a weird
shit
caretaker in
water.
South B.
Or the one now next to us.
Yeah. No, he's just an angry person.
Oh.
Stereotype of a human. But yeah, we moved on.
Ugh, no, something.
So?
A lack of water.
Bad caretaker.
Bad caretaker, shit parking situation.
Water.
Water, I can't do it. I can't do it. So the place that we lived in, Mada, once again next to Kinoni,
Downstairs.
people used to siphon water from our water tank.
Stealers of water.
Steal water, like we would get.
Because they have 17 kids and they all like shower with 10 liters every 10 minutes.
Exactly. Because we used to have 2 big 1,000 liter water tanks for the flat that we were in. Right?
And yet somehow
on Wednesday we get the city council water, like you see it comes into the whatever. By Friday that magic is over. I remember there was a Thursday night we went to a Sauti Sol concert. Friday night we went to a Sauti Sol concert. We came back, the Magi was over and we couldn't shower after a Sauti Sol concert.
all
Now,
the sweat
at a
and
Sauti Sol
dancing
concert, I'm
and-
dancing to all the songs I like. Not the ones I don't like, the ones I like. Now, you come home and you can't shower?
Musty babes.
I think we moved out the next week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, I was like, bye-bye.
And the irony is like some of us never
I used to go to
never
Kenaoni's house to
had that
shower.
struggle for water.
Because you guys always had Magi. Was
Someone
it
used to
Saturday?
steal. How would we siphon? Who has the time? Me, I was sleeping half the time. Or sexing. Ha!
Mostly the latter. Indian summer. See, that was your Indian summer.
Hey, Madaraka was serious. Madaraka was a serious.
Location.
Yeah. I enjoyed that neighborhood, Sana.
I enjoyed the neighborhood. I enjoyed the flat. I hated the road. Okay, that's another
They
thing.
fixed it when we left.
It's
Because
okay.
Uhuru was coming to Strathmore.
No, they fixed the straight road. I don't mind the straight road.
Oh.
The road for the crescent.
And it was like 50 meters, but it was so bad.
I hated that thing.
It was so
I
bad.
don't like roads that make my car suffer.
Yeah, I feel like that statement is true for roads and people.
Yes.
Of those that shall not be named.
I don't know why you're giving me a look.
That's the look I'm giving you, I'm just saying.
Anyway, do you have like non-negotiables when you're moving into a house that you
Yeah,
live at?
water.
No, but you won't know the water until you live there.
Nah, you will.
How?
You check if they have tanks.
Yeah,
You
we
check
have
with the
tanks.
neighbors if the flow is regular and yeah.
Oh,
But also there's neighborhoods that you know suffer from water problems and those that you know that don't.
Someone told me you have to look in the balcony to see if guys have jerry cans.
Yeah. Not even, just look. You'll see 17 mutungis. When I moved into the first place, the neighbor upstairs had, outside his front door, there was like 25 jerry cans. And I'm like, yeah, water is going
But
to be
in
an
Mada,
issue.
no one had anything. No
Exactly.
one else had water issues.
Yeah, so you were being robbed of your water. I feel like you ran away from conflict and that's why you moved from that house. Yeah, that raised hell.
Conflict?
Someone was stealing your water and you're just like, okay, the solution is to move.
See, we all grow.
It's okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would rather not have confronted the person. And I think it was also that, showering, man. I take my showering time seriously, even though I actually don't like showering. When now I must shower, I take it very seriously. Wow. So, looking for water.
Space. The kitchen needs to be well spaced.
Yes.
The rooms need to be well spaced and sizable. Like, if I can stretch my hands and touch 2 walls that are not perpendicular to each other, it's too small. and I don't enjoy.
Two, if you can touch walls that are perpendicular.
That are not perpendicular.
That are not. Oh, that are parallel. Got it. Okay. Yeah.
If I can touch two walls, or even like get close to touching two walls, it's not because my wingspan is like 6 feet something.
Oh, my
So if it's less than 7 feet, I'm just like, what are we doing? Is this a room for a human? It doesn't make sense.
I get that.
And those are the places I'm not willing to pay a single cent for. It's like, I don't care if it's 50 bob rent. It's too much money. I need space.
I do not know what my wingspan is.
It's generally approximately
I've never
your height.
measured it. Oh.
That's about how tall you are.
Wow, my arms are really paining. Guys, do pole dancing. I think what I look for is neighborhood. Like, I need there to be activity. I need there to be safe. So where I live, there's a club. There's three clubs technically, if you count. There's 3 clubs that are really loud. Or at least they used to be louder, much louder before Corona.
Pre-Corona.
But they were loud like till 4 a.m. in the morning. And I used to mind at the beginning, but now I don't mind so much. It makes me feel like there's like security, like there's always going to be people, even if it's drunk people around. There's a lot of students in this area as well. It just makes me feel safer.
After living in Rongai, a thing that became non-negotiable was proximity to churches and mosques. Because I used to live right next to a church in Rongai. And I was on the 4th floor, and the church was made of tent. It was a canvas operation. And so when they would wake up at 7 to sing their songs, guess who had to be up as well?
It would be you.
And when they would kesha from Friday night, okay, Friday wasn't so much of an issue, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday night to Sunday morning. And I'm like, my niggas, you gotta sleep.
There's a church over here, I've just never had it.
So whenever I was out, it was easy, but if I was staying in or if I was trying to sleep or if
there
anything.
was nothing, you needed like muffling.
I got used to it eventually.
It's a hot mess. I've never actually, there's so many things I never think of when I move into places. Before I lived where I live now, I've never thought of many guards.
Security.
I feel much better when there's many. Wow, our nannies are so different. Yours is noise, mine is don't let robbers in. Like,
but if I'm moving somewhere, I need to feel like it's secure.
Yeah.
Like that one is not even a thing I think about. If I feel insecure, I'm not moving.
I get that.
It's an assessment I make when I'm making the initial assessment of do I want to live here. It goes along with the size of the rooms, the cleanliness. Is the place, does it have grass or is it just pebbles and gravel? That means my house will be full of dust.
I don't mind that. Full of dust.
I hate it.
Full of dust.
Tommy, that place I would sweep in the morning and come in the evening and it looks like the fucking Sahara had walked through the house.
No,
I can't do it. There are places like that all over this fucking city. I couldn't do it. So other than that, and the water thing, what else? The neighbors mattered. Like, the reason I moved from Thika Road is because I felt the energy of the whole neighborhood was just off. People were very aggressive, very unfriendly. I don't know if it has something to do with being on Thika Road, but it wasn't the vibe for me. Maybe I should have lived like away from the bougie people in like Roysambu or something. But I couldn't do it.
Where were the best vibes you ever lived at?
Ronga and Mada. Those were good vibes.
Yeah, Mada was great vibes for me.
Yeah.
Because I've lived
because you guys were my neighbors.
Yeah, but like, if we had gotten to know our neighbors in Mada, if we weren't neighbors, we would have liked them also.
Yeah, but we did get to know them.
Yeah, but only after some things happened. But like, we didn't know them before. We had no reason. Even here where I lived...
After they called the cops on our parties.
I never knew any of the neighbors. I still don't know any of the neighbors who I live with now. At all.
But this side is
the one old
like for kids and things.
Hi to when he died.
What? Damn.
And he was really mean to everyone.
Except you.
He used to say hi to me. Oh, yeah.
Life happens, man.
R.I.P. I don't know. I think, vibes... But I don't think I'll move for a caretaker, I'll move for Magi, I'll move for security.
I'll move for vibes. Because it was fucking in my energy.
Yeah.
I didn't feel secure getting home like late at night. And it's not like anything happened.
No, but you felt like some shit could have.
Yeah.
Like if guys are driving
people behaved differently. When I went to Rongai, like it was a weird thing. Rongai was like it wasn't Nairobi. Because even just chilling for transport to go home. Like if it was after a certain time, people who had cars which were empty would just stop and give girls lifts because they knew the matatu situation going to Rongai was crazy. You could wait for hours. So a guy with an empty car was like, hey, either they'll do it for free or they'll charge you 50 bob or whatever. Like you go and you have tales. I met photographers, I met karaoke singers, I met bankers, single moms.
So
like
this is really hard for me. This
it just
distance
happens
thing,
though.
No, this distance thing.
Oh,
First of all, me, I'm not going to get into car with anyone at all ever.
That's what I'm telling you. Rongai is different.
Yeah.
Everyone, like from little kids to old women to young women, like everybody does that thing. I got into a car coming to town from Rongai once at like midnight. And that feels sketchy as shit, but I was waiting for a job on the side of the street. So it was not nearly as sketchy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. The people there were different when I was living there. It was a very Shags vibe, but close to the city.
Yeah, I get that. Also,
Yeah.
the Shags rules still apply.
Exactly. It's like, this is my neighbor, come. And they don't even, like, they'll ask you where you're getting off. It's not that they know where you live or anything. It's just, this is your stage, Shuka, and then you walk. Nice to meet you. See you.
Personally, woo, I can't.
Especially rush hour, that's like 5 p.m.
Yeah. Also,
There's like 7 of you
you're gonna
entering
be in
the
car
thing.
for 4 hours.
No, just an hour. And if you don't want to talk, you don't have to talk.
Hey, the distance for me. I don't know.
The distance
I think
was,
distance would make me move.
It was a trip. That's why I moved
Distance
from
would make
Rongai.
me move. I find it. Hey, when I lived in, I think the farthest I've ever lived from like city center or something is Imaradaima, and the amount of time I used to spend in jobs going wherever the fuck I was going, not like being able to afford cabs, and then also watching all the accidents happen on Mombasa Road. Actually, what made me move from Imaradaima was accidents on Mombasa Road.
Mombasa Road is a trip.
Hey, wow. I used to get freaked out. There was a time, there was a job I almost got into, and then I didn't get into it because I wanted to sit in the front and they didn't have a front seat. And then I got into the next job, and as we're driving along, I'm seeing that job that I didn't enter was in an accident. I'm just, and the part that was squished was the front and the back, like squished like a sandwich between a truck and like a canter or something.
Oh,
Fam.
no thanks.
Hey, that thing scared me. As in, I remember I was just like, I think how I move out also like strategy is like I find someone who lives where.
Yeah, that's always a good measure.
That's
a
how
recommendation.
I moved out most of the places I've lived or moved to or been happy.
South B was a recommendation. Mada was a recommendation. Yeah.
Did I recommend Mada?
Yeah, you're the one who said that.
I did, didn't I?
You should come check out Madaraka. There's nice houses in the area.
And there's a house above me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're pleased.
But yeah, I think I generally like the South Beach studio. I moved in. My friend was moving to Italy. I literally moved in with her furniture, with her everything. Mada, my cousin lived there. I moved in. Like I just took over a lease. Like
Oh, the other Abigail Arunga.
Yeah. So our names are the same.
It continued.
It just continued. Here, we knew people in the building. Yeah.
It makes sense.
That's easier for me.
It's if you don't get that kind of recommendation, you can't actually know for sure what the place is like. You don't, because agents will lie to you.
Yeah.
Internet will lie.
They will. So the next
emotions
time you're moving,
will lie.
think about me. So, because I might be your neighbor, so you have to like take the responsibility of my future living.
I'm just trying to see where you're going with it.
If you move into where we were talking about today, I'm down.
Where's
Let's
that?
go.
Oh yeah.
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 All
right.
Yeah.
It's a nice place.
It is.
Super.
Trees.
And good neighbors.
Chakwana picnic.
We know at least one.
Hey.
Picnics for days. They don't see how people live in a place with jacaranda trees. What's the purple ones are jacaranda?
The purple ones are jacaranda.
Jacaranda trees, grass,
trees,
just a lot of foliage, and you just sit in your house all the time.
But see, it's like how people with pools, like they.
I also don't get that. I would be a fucking fish if I lived where there was a pool. As long as it was being cleaned, I would even clean it, knowing myself.
You would. Guys, let us know where you guys moved to, what your first moving out experience was like.
The precipitant of that move.
Dishes. And what you look for when you move.
Yes.
We are interested in knowing.
Tell us, we will listen.
Yes.
Peace out.
The first part of this podcast is the podcast before this one, and then this one.
Yeah, connect the dots. If you can't, it's okay also. It's standalone or alone they stand.
Well, it's an independent episode. Just call it Beyonce.
All the podcast independent. Get it down like that.
Charlie, how your angels
Get down like that. Hey! Peace.